Hey everybody, welcome to Brit React. You're me BP1, no BP2. Today's video, this one seems to be doing the rounds on the old internet, and I thought, well, let's get me noshers into this one. Soul food the right way, so American soul food, which apparently is buttermilk fried chicken, sounds good, mac and cheese, staple, and candied yams. Recipe, which I haven't got a bloody clue what they are. Soul food the right way. Soul food, yeah, this looks good. I mean, is this cornbread? I think this might be cornbread. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I mean that could be. I mean, yeah, mac and cheese looks good. Your chicken looks good. You got your beans there. I'm guessing that's your candied yams in the bottom there, and a bit of cornbread. That's my guess. How good is that? We'll see. Let's watch the video. Let's get into it. See what it's all about.
Hey y'all, today we're going to make a delicious soul food meal with some candied yams, mac and cheese, buttermilk fried chicken, cornbread, and green beans. Y'all, if you are making this meal for your family, they need to be doing something special for you, okay? Because this is going to take a little bit of time, but it's so going to be worth it. As you can see, I am cleaning my chicken. I'm using chicken wings here. I rinsed them with some water, a little bit of vinegar, and I'm just scrubbing them with some lime. You can use any cut of chicken that you like. I rinse it off just to make sure there's no feathers or any dirt or anything like that.
Interesting.
You want to clean your sink?
I haven't washed meat for years. I know it's something I used to do a lot, in the olden days in the UK, clean the meat. Don't let it splash everywhere. But nowadays, I don't know anybody that washes the meat before it's cooked.
And make sure, of course, you wash those hands. One thing is for sure is that we are seasoning this chicken down to the bone. Okay, y'all that don't be putting no seasonings on your chicken, salt, pepper, and garlic powder chicken. We don't do that. I see you, okay? And I'm trying to come for you and encourage you to use some flavor. As you see, I've already gone in with some Maggi seasoning, a little bit of bouillon, and I'm using some Lyris. Y'all know we love some Lyris.
I haven't got a clue what any of those marinades are. Yeah, no idea.
On that chicken, I'm putting on some ginger powder.
Yeah, I know what that is.
And as well as some black pepper. And some rosemary. You got to go in with the herbs on the chicken.
The herbs.
I also love to use some
I love the
sage and thyme on the chicken. This salt-free Cajun seasoning, which I've showed y'all how to make already, and some garlic that I've busted. Now, the garlic, the sage, the thyme, we are just busting that and crushing it so that we can get the flavor. All right, it's going to infuse into the buttermilk, and it is going to give a nice taste. But we're not going to fry that, because they're fresh ingredients and they're really just going to burn in the oil. You don't need to douse your chicken in buttermilk, okay?
That's
just
really
put
thick,
a little
isn't it,
bit. Cover it enough, and that is enough to get your chicken tender. I see some people pouring in the whole cow, trying to tenderize that chicken. It's not needed. All right, just cover it. And then put a little hot sauce in for the little flavor. Even if you don't like spicy food, add the hot sauce. It gives...
How much hot sauce? I don't, well, I suppose how hot you like it, but surely that's going to blow your mouth off, isn't it? I'd give it just a little bit of hot sauce. I wouldn't. Yeah, that's gonna fire you up, isn't it?
This flavor is not spicy, not gonna burn your mouth.
Sure.
Just seasoning down to the bone.
It's a lot of hot sauce. I suppose you got your
when you want that chicken right, you gotta marinate it overnight. So cover it and let it sit in the fridge.
Fair play.
I'm using 4 medium-sized sweet potatoes for my candy yams. 2 large sweet potatoes would be perfect here. Peel them top and tail, these pieces, and cut into a 1/2 inch thickness of rounds.
Okay. Mind your fingies.
In a hot pan, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of salted butter and a 1/2 cup of brown sugar.
I'm interested.
I really do not like super sweet yams, but if you do, use about 3/4 of a cup to 1 cup of brown sugar instead. Let this candy and caramelize for about 3 minutes, stirring it constantly, and then go on with your spices. I'm using cinnamon here, fresh ginger for that delicious fresh flavor. I'm grating in some fresh nutmeg.
Nutmeg as well,
and I'm just doing this to my
That's
own
quite a
taste.
lot in there, isn't it?
I'm going to stir this up into that buttery sugar mixture, and then I'm adding a capful of vanilla extract. You have to really candy the sugar and the butter, hence the name candy yams, right? It's going to add a different layer of flavor. Then in goes
sweet potato,
your sweet potatoes. Now it's
I know we watched this on another video about sweet potato and being in puddings. Again, something that never tried. It's not in any recipe books. Just don't see that being done in the UK, or certainly not on any menu either. So it's quite an interesting concept, but it is a sweet potato, isn't it?
It's going to be tempting to add some water. Don't do it, okay? Yams produce a lot of water on their own, so all you need to do is turn your heat down to low. On an electric stove, mine is at about like a 2 or a 3.
What was that, Morse?
Put on your top and let it just simmer for about 45 minutes.
What were you putting on the top there?
Undisturbed. It will produce its own water. Look, y'all, my macaroni and cheese is you can bring the mac at Thanksgiving good. And one of the secrets is cooking those noodles in some chicken broth. Today I'm going to do a roux for my mac and cheese. So I'm putting in half a stick of butter.
I was going to say.
With 2 tablespoons of flour. We're going to toast this flour to give it a nice
bit of a roux
flavor. It's going to cook out the rawness, and it's going to be a perfect thickener for the roux. After about a minute or 2, this is what it will look like. And then I'm going in with a full can of evaporated milk. I think this adds a nice flavor over just using whole milk because it's so creamy and concentrated. And then 1.5 cups of heavy cream. Got to use heavy cream, guys. Okay, the fat content will change your mac and cheese. Use 8 ounces of your favorite cheese. Today I'm using Colby Jack, but anything that you like would be perfect. To flavor my roux, I'm using some Cajun seasoning just to taste, as well as some hot sauce. I'll be adding a little garlic powder and black pepper later on, but you just have to do this to taste, guys. Okay, it's whatever you like.
Again, the hot sauce and the Cajun spot, I'm not sure I'd like that on the mac and cheese. I mean, each to their own. I mean, you wouldn't put it in if you didn't like it, but it just seems a bit much, you think?
At this point, I thought my roux was a little bit thick, so I went in with 1/2 cup of water, but chicken broth would be the perfect thing to use here. And I'm adding 8 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese to enhance that cheesy flavor. And then I'm going to go in with my noodles. At this stage, the roux is perfect. So, you know, you could let this just be stovetop mac, but we're going to fight if you like stovetop mac, because I only do baked mac, okay? You ain't invited to the cookout. So I'm just playing with you guys. Y'all all can come, right? But I just really like baked mac.
Okay,
so
into
my
the tea.
pan, I am going to add all my noodles and all of this delicious cheesiness. In the comments, guys, let me know if you enjoy me doing these full meal episodes, or if you just want me to stick to doing one dish at a time.
It's a bit much, though, isn't it? It's quite a lot, isn't it, to eat? Like, you know, I mean, my belly's just bursting thinking about it. I mean, for me, it's just it's a lot of cheese, a lot of spices in there. Yeah, well, it's a lot of food. It's quite stodgy, isn't it? Because if you ate, I'm not going to say you have all of that, you'd have a portion of that, but you got that, and then you've got the bread. I don't know what the chicken's going to turn out like, but you got that greasy sort of chicken, quite stodgy and greasy, isn't it?
Or you all's feedback, or if you have anything that you want me to make, just let me know in the comments. Of course, I'm going to go in with my sharp cheddar cheese on the top. I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and I'm going to bake this mac and cheese for about 25.
I just think you're so generous with your food in America, whereas in Britain I think we're just tight. I think you get to that point where the cheese is pre-grated in a bag. I've never seen cheese that thinly grated in a bag in the UK. It's always the the bigger part of the grater, you know. If it is in a bag, but we tend to sort of grate our own cheese. But we always do just enough. I mean, for me, that's too much. I wouldn't have put that much on if I was making it myself. But just generosity. It's nice.
Minutes.
Bit of paprika. Lovely jubbly. 25 minutes. 350. That's going to be nice and crispy.
Fry this chicken, y'all. Okay, now to get a extra crispy fried chicken coating, you need a starch. Today I'm using potato starch, but cornstarch would work. Of course, you're going to need flour, and I'm just putting in about half a cup of that starch. Season your flour with the salt-free Cajun seasoning, a little bit of seasoning salt. Just do that to your own taste. Some garlic powder, a little bit of white pepper.
Wow.
I'm also going to use thyme for an herbal note, and then I'm going to add my lid.
I think it's been marinating and all that stuff as well.
And I'm just going to mix it. If you would like to do this in a plate, feel free. I've let my chicken sit out for 30 minutes to come to room temperature, and then I'm going to shake off the fresh herbs and the fresh garlic and the buttermilk. I'm going to toss it into my container, shake it vigorously to coat it with flour, and then I'm going to set it aside on the plate. Now, when you take it out of this Tupperware, you need to make sure that you knock off all of the excess flour. If you don't knock it off, it is going to actually fall just into your cooking oil. It's going to burn and leave your oil with a really bad taste.
Yeah, and it's stinky as well. I mean, I always do my best to shake it off, but you always get that lump.
I'm going to do the rest of my chicken this same way, adding it to my flour, shaking the coat,
new subscriber, welcome to Brit Pops React.
To rest.
If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Do come with us at Brit Pops React. Plenty on the channel for you to check out. Myself and BP2 do videos. I do videos. I like the foodie ones. I like getting interested in that, and he likes doing all sorts. So shake.
I allow my chicken to sit for about 10 to 15 minutes so that the coating will become moist. You need to do this so that it will stick to the batter. If you would like a extra crunchy coated chicken, after it sits, dip it back into your buttermilk and then toss it back into the flour again. I didn't do all of them this way, but I just wanted to show you 3 of them as an example if you really like that double coated crunchy chicken. And of course, just let it sit. Fill up whatever you're going to fry in with canola oil or vegetable oil and allow it to come up to about 350 degrees. I test mine with a chopstick, and then I'm putting all the little chicken wings in the pool, y'all, okay?
Chicken wings in the pool,
don't overcrowd it. If you are using chicken legs or chicken thighs, you can fry that as well. To fry the chicken wings, I only fry them for about 11 minutes. If you're doing chicken legs, it's going to take about 13 to 15 minutes. Thighs are going to take about 15 to 16 minutes because they're a little thicker, especially if you're doing those really big pieces of chicken. I really suggest you fry dark meat because it's going to be juicier unless you're using chicken breast to say do chicken tenders. Between batches, clean out your oil, and then I'm setting mine aside on a rack. Y'all see that newspaper? Okay, went old school on it. Okay, no paper towels today.
Looks good.
Okay, now my green beans are going to be semi-homemade. Just using a little bit of butter, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion, that Cajun seasoning.
Cajun seasoning goes in everything, doesn't it?
I drained out the can, and I'm going to just cook and warm up these green beans and all the seasonings and all the flavor.
I admit, I don't season nowhere near this. I mean, I don't know about you at home. Salt and pepper, maybe a bit of paprika here and there. Certainly not to the degree here. That's probably why my food tastes bland and not as seasoned and spicy as hers does, for sure.
I really didn't want to do fresh green beans after I went through all of this, all of what I was doing today. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Your family's going to love it. Add a little butter to your candy yams right there at the end, just to give it that delicious flavor. And guys, do you see this crunchy chicken? so crunchy.
Yeah, I must admit the chicken does
sweet
look good.
candied yams, delicious green beans.
Yeah,
I've showed you guys how to make that buttermilk cornbread in a different video.
Mac and cheese, look at that. That looks good, doesn't it?
Macaroni and cheese, gooey, delicious, right? This is a full spread.
Too right it is.
Of course, I'm going to show y'all how this mac and cheese looks. It is so good. It is so cheesy.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Do you see this? Do you see this, guys? Wow. These candied yams are perfectly seasoned for me, not overly sweet. Those green beans have a great flavor. You'd love them even though they're from the can. It doesn't matter. It's so delicious. Guys, I hope you enjoy this meal. Share it with someone you love. Know that God loves you and I love you too. And I'll see you next time on Kamira's Kitchen. Goodbye.
Fair enough. That was Kamira's Kitchen. Interesting. I don't know what else to say other than very, very interesting. I'd love to try the candied yams, the sweet potato. I could probably do that here actually. The mac and cheese, totally different the way we do it. The heavy cream was heavy. Yeah, I mean, very, very cheesy. Again, the chicken, I mean, the spices, I mean, the amount of spices that are in that chicken, you know, just from the marinade and then the dry mix for the batter. Yeah, interesting. A plate of food that I'd love to try for sure. And she's made me think about certainly how I season my food in the UK. Like I say, I'm very plain Jane with the salt and pepper and paprika. I've got, if I showed you, I've got loads of different like little spice rack with loads of different stuff in it, but you come across in recipes and stuff. But if I'm just doing my own sort of thing, I don't tend to chuck it in there. Alright, well, let me know in the comments. Is that something you eat? Yams, regular viewers? Any of those that are on your table every week? Do let me know in the comments. I've pressed the wrong button. That's the button I wanted to press. Thank you for joining me at Brit Pop Shack today. We'll be back tomorrow for another reaction between me and BP2. Until then, it's bye from me. Bye.